Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday night. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Not the aiL Learning Lab. Those would be scammers. I even made a chart. We've got charts and graphs. Charts and graphs. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday night. My name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Just had Din. Good evening, Dr. J. What's shaking? What's shaking? What's going down? Tobias. Date night for you and the missus? Let's see. It's the Barbie movie of the AI Learning Lab. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll let people get in here. We'll get a little settled. I still have my cinnamon from last night, but I'm not putting it in my coffee because that was a disaster. Plus one also. Welcome, welcome, both of you. Beretta Barbie. Nice name. Beretta Barbie. That's a 10 out of 10 on the name. 76. Oh, Dr. J 76ers. Gen Xer for sure. Go Gen X. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Kool-Aid. Do boop ba boop boop ba dee do. If you'd be so, I come off strong. If you'd be so kind, share the live so we can get some other folks in here. Tap the hearty hearts, so we at least pretend you're enjoying it. The Joker's here. Welcome, Joker. Thank you, Dr. J. Jennifer Murray Photography. Hello, hello, hello. Danny D. Roger Martin. Welcome, welcome. All right, now it seems to be popping up a little bit. Maybe we're hitting the algorithm. Saturday night. There's an MMA fight on. You could be watching that, or you could be watching the MMA fight that is the AI Learning Lab. What is on my shirt? I think it must be paint. It's white and it will not. It's making me crazy. Can't get it off. That famous scene from Macbeth. Or you could be working. What are we chatting about tonight? Well, no big pressing issues. I made a couple of videos today. There's a cool, I don't even remember the site. There's a cool site that builds you a website. What's it called? Relume. RELUME. Imagine a website now generated. It generates a sitemap and a set of wireframes that you can then export to Figma or WordPress. No, I don't think it's WordPress. I think it's Webflow. Relume. So that's pretty amazing. Oh, a lot of people just joined. Welcome, everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Let me flip these cameras and I'll talk a little bit about what the hell we do here. Why are we hanging out on a Saturday night? Look, I got a little hatchet in the mountains. We got the hatchet shirt. We're going to be able to read up here. It's going to be fantastic. Let me tell you what's going on. This is annoying. So I guess there's good news and bad news. The good news is that the AI Learning Lab has some followers. The bad news is one of those followers is a fucking scammer. So the top one is me. The one that has two L's in it at the beginning is the scammer, and I've reported them now 3 or 4 times, and TikTok's just like, yeah, whatever, they're good, but they're actually asking people to sign up for multi-level marketing, and I would never ask you to sign up for a multi-level marketing program. I would ask you to sign up for a pyramid scheme. They're completely different. Okay, so if you subscribe to a channel you think is this channel, go check and make sure that it doesn't have two L's at the beginning of it. So that makes me cranky. But anyway, that's not why we're here. Why we're here is so a little bit about my background. I'm an entrepreneur. My current gig is I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. That is an automated video production platform that, believe it or not, does not use a ton of AI. We've been around for 11 years. Figured out how to do that shit before AI came along. We're rolling a lot of AI into it, but I've been an entrepreneur for a few decades, and I've started 12 or 15 companies, and I was a founder in the early days of the World Wide Web in the mid-90s. I started one of the first digital agencies, a company... Dr. J, I'm Team Ponzi myself. That's awesome. I started a company called agency.com, which was one of the first digital agencies. And the reason I bring that up is that what's going on with ChatGPT and these generative AI models, the image generation things and the video things and the audio things and ChatGPT and all these competitors that I have listed here, it's very, very similar to the early days of the web. So what we do on this channel is just talk about it. If you've got questions about it, ask questions. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, chat.openai.com, that URL right there, that's the official website. Just go there, start playing while you listen to me ramble. If you've been playing for a while, some of these other sites are also ChatGPT or ChatGPT competitors. I think they all are good enough that they're at least worth taking a look at. See which of these is better for you. Like, for example, Claude .ai, you can paste in like a 50,000 word novel. It's got a 100,000 token context window. So Claude can be really useful when you might not be able to do something on ChatGPT. Bing and Bard are both connected to the internet. Bing can also generate images. This is Microsoft's version of GPT-4. It can read images, it can make images, it's connected to the internet, so it's kind of interesting. ChatGPT, the official one, has Code Interpreter, which is quite powerful, and it's got plugins, and it's got this thing called custom instructions, and GPT-4 is just baller. It's kind of the best of these things. The Perplexity one, that's just Perplexity giving us access for free to Meta's Llama models. Pi is from a company called Inflection. Pose from Quora. All of them have a little something to offer, a little bit different. At some point, I'm going to start winnowing this list down. But if you're just getting started, just start at that top one. And then the other thing to do is go to this thing, prompts.chat. So if you're super new and you don't quite know what prompting is, or maybe you've heard people talk about prompt engineering or prompt crafting, or maybe you've never heard that term at all, and you're like, what the hell is a prompt? A prompt is basically you're just chatting, you're just asking it to give you some shit. Hey, do this thing for me. Prompts.chat will teach you how to do that, and it gives you a whole bunch of ideas for ways that you can use these large language models. This next one down is the same thing for images. It's written for Stable Diffusion, but the basic principles here apply for all of them. And then Futurepedia.io is just a big long list of tools. There's like 4,000 AI tools in there. You can geek out, go nuts. Just know that most of them are crap, and they're all probably trying to ask you for $20 a month. So I would not sign up for any annual contracts right now. Everything's moving too fast. All right, final little piece of the puzzle here. If you want to join a community doing this sort of thing, the Salon.ai, that's a group I started back in December called the AI Salon, and we meet every other week. We meet in person here in Denver. We meet virtually for those not in Denver. The next meeting is next Tuesday. We meet every other Tuesday, and John Neck from Adobe speaking from their AI team. They're doing some really interesting stuff over there, and he spoke at the salon last January, and he's going to be back Tuesday night, so that's exciting. What else? Yeah, just go to that URL and sign up for that. The YouTube channel up here, AI Learning Lab -TT TikTok, that's where archives of these lives are going to be stored. And yeah, I've started working on that. I spent like an hour and a half today trying to get the fucking prompt to work to generate chapters consistently, and I just couldn't do it. And one of the things that I learned about Claude, dear old Claude up here, even though you can put it in giant documents, it limits you to like 20 or 25 queries a day, probably if you're using long documents, which I was trying to do some testing, and so I just burned through all my uses, so that made me cranky. I was like, humph. Welcome the bear, what's happening? How are you doing? All right, the other thing I do is ask questions, so please feel free to pop any questions in, and I will do my best to answer them. Let's see, what do you need to participate in the Tuesday salon? Camera, microphone, etc. You can. It's just a Google Meet. So if you go to the if you go to this URL, you can join the meetup community or join the meetup group. And then there's also a Discord group, so you can go to the Discord group, and at the Discord group you can play with Midjourney and ChatGPT, and you can ask questions and things like that. So that's that. Storyvine's my company, and that's what that is. So you don't need to even be on camera. You can be. You don't have to be for the salon. We do like to introduce ourselves. So it's kind of like a support group. It's like AIAA. Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm into AI. Hi, Kyle. And then what about these lives? What do we do here? I ramble. I ramble, I answer questions, I get snarky, I get sassy, I cuss occasionally, so if you don't like that sort of stuff, get the hell out. What is wrong with you? Swearing's fun. Swearing's neat. I'm a large language model, and I don't have any safety guardrails. Yes. Okay, let's do this. Let me get to some questions. Hello, hello, hello. A lot of people saying hello. Hello, Ellie. Hello. All right. I used an uploaded photo of a vehicle, used it in Midjourney with prompts. Prompt was a disaster. Not accurate at all. Thought it would at least keep what was uploaded. Yeah, it doesn't really do that. I don't know how geeky you are, Tobias, but if you want to explore that, there's some new things coming. There was a paper that came out like a month ago where they figured out a way to essentially auto trace a source image and pull out, basically capture all the detailed line work, and then you can modify everything else. But I haven't seen that built into anything yet. The thing that I would play around with is ControlNet. So ControlNet is one way you could do it, but you could also try the remix capability in Midjourney rather than just uploading a photo and trying to do it. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good suggestion for you. I was thinking maybe you could use the describe function in Midjourney, have it describe your source image, and then use the source image as part of the prompt and the description that it selected, and then change whatever you want in that. I don't know if that's going to work. I would look at ControlNet for Stable Diffusion. If you want to start to get some things that are more predictable and you're maintaining the composition and the look of the car, And then if not, it might be too early for that. Now, the other thing that you could do with an image like that, Tobias, is if you've got Photoshop and you use the Photoshop beta with generative fill, you could select the car and change out all the background, or you could select the car and change the color, or things like that. So there might be some ways you can do it, but that's a tough one. Getting things super predictable in Midjourney and Stable Diffusion right now is a shit show. So yeah, welcome to the early days. We sure are early here at the internet, at the dawn of the generative AI era. It's the great renaissance, and right now it's like a great pile of poo-poo. So it'll get better at some point. The predictability thing's a real pain in the ass. I saw there was a cool I saw some video of or not video, I saw like a Twitter post of I think it's OpenAI's new model. So OpenAI's DALL-E, the image generation thing within Bing, is really shitty. It's just bad. It's just doesn't have a lot of controls. It just gives you square images. It's not all that good. But apparently they've got one now that does text really well, like one they have internally. So I have a feeling OpenAI is going to come up with a Midjourney competitor that's going to. I have a feeling I think we got some Christmas gifts coming. The Xmas is going to be the Xmas tree is going to be piled with technology. I want a new large language model. I wanted Midjourney to not suck. I don't want to do it in Discord. There's a lot in 10 sign up. What? There's a lot in 10 sign up. Morgie, I don't know what you mean. Wait, was that in reference to something earlier? I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. It's not my first the words. It's not my first language. There's a lot in 10 sign up. I do not know. AI Learning Lab is the real one. Yes. Oh, AI Learning Lab with 2 B's. Joker joking it up. I like it. It's solid. It's good. Okay. I think I asked last time, but why didn't you get to my question? What do you think about Adobe's AI photo? I probably just didn't get to your... So what happens, Jennifer, if you came in even an hour in, because I try to answer all of the questions, if you're down at the bottom, sort of late in the thing, I get like 100 questions behind. So you were probably just swept up in the Gen Xer trying to use TikTok situation. I like generative fill a lot. So wait, when you say what do I think of Adobe's AI photo? There's a couple of things. There's Firefly, which is kind of their playground, and there they have text to image, and they've got the stylized text thing, and they've got one other thing now, and then they've got generative fill. Both of them are interesting. I think generative fill is actually really quite good. So let's go play with that. Do I have layers on this? I do. Okay, well, let's go find something fun. Let's go find a fun image. Oh, you know what we'll do? I know what we'll do. No, what, Kyle? What are we going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go to... I'm now in the AI Salon. We're in Discord now. So if you haven't used Discord, these are all servers. So these are all different communities. This is the AI Salon. And then these are all conversations within the AI Salon community. And I'm going to go to the Midjourney channel. And let's just go find a cool image. Ooh, that one's neat. Who's doing that? Kyle WB. Kyle WB. It's not me. That's someone else. Those are sweet. Those are neat. Let's see. 3D optical illusion. This is cool. Wow, nice. That's nice too. Oh, that's a source image. Yeah, yeah. Tobias, here's a guy that uploaded that as a source image, and then he got this as outputs, which is pretty close, but it's not exact, right? Like if you want to keep the same lines of a car, like this has got completely different towers. This has got an archway that this has an archway, but it doesn't have that tower. It's got a tower in the middle. So, yeah, so it really does reimagine them. But it puts you in the neighborhood. So yeah, if you want it to be specific. Okay. So, let's see. What do we want to do? What do we want a picture of? Let's do. Okay, so the way you make images with Midjourney, you type /imagine when you're in a channel that's got Midjourney installed. And then it gives you a prompt, and we'll say, let's see, photograph of a fly fisherman standing by a stream in the fall with the leaves changing color. And then I'm going to do --AR, and I'm going to do 2x3. So this is going to be taller than it is wide. And so now we'll have, now Midjourney's going to go off, and it's going to make this beautimous thing for us. Ba-da-ba-bum. And Jennifer, I don't know if you were here earlier. I think you were when I was talking about the AI Salon. My co-host in the AI Salon is a woman named Leah Faston, who's a commercial photographer out of Boston. And so she's been playing a lot with this AI stuff. So, it would be potentially interesting for you to come to the salon just to talk to her or, meet her. All right. What's it doing here? It doesn't look like a fly fisherman. That's okay. Are these done? Okay, so the way Midjourney works, it gives you 4 options for any given image, and then if you find one you like, I kind of like this one. This is a little bit more dramatic in the stream, and he's off in the distance a bit more. Although this one's kind of moody. It's got some stuff here. So with Midjourney, you got U 1 through 4 and V 1 through 4. Those are related to these 4 images, obviously. U means upscale and V means variations. So if you see one you like, but it's not quite perfect, you can hit V4. So we'll do that now. And now it's going to render 4 new images kind of based on that one. So it'll take the same seed of that image, and it's going to give us 4 variations of it. And this is often, if I'm putting together an image for an article or something that I'm writing, and I just want to knock it out quick, what I'll often do is I'll type in 2 or 3 different spins on a prompt that are all in the same neighborhood. It'll generate 4 from each, and then I'll just do variations on anything I like that came out of that. And then I'll kind of pick from those, and I'll just upscale them. And then most of the time, within, 2 or 3 iterations, I can get something that I like. Let's see. This top one kind of looks the most like a fly fisherman. Or does it? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's grab this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit upscale, number 1. And so that's going to give us a big version of this. Then we're going to hop over to Photoshop. Okay, so there's our picture. It's a lovely picture. Now, I'm going to go show you how to do this in generative fill. But you can also do this in in Midjourney. Actually, I'll show you both. Why not? So, so we've got a vertical image here. Now, let's say I was doing a piece and I actually need this to be horizontal, and I want to see this dude fishing, but I need a horizontal image. Well, I could crop it, but then I'd kind of lose the beauty of the scene. So once you upscale an image, it gives you a bunch of options here. You can do variations, strong and subtle. You can zoom out 2 times, which will basically like put him, in the distance, 2x, right? You'll get 2 times more stuff around him. You can do a custom zoom where you could turn it into a 16:9 image, but they also have these panning things. So what if we wanted to create an image where we're going to put some copy on the page? So we want the fisherman to the left and we want, some stuff out to the right. Well, we can actually do that. We just hit this right button here. And what that's going to do is it's going to add to the right of this image. So this is similar to generative fill. So we'll see what this does here. And it's going to give us 4 options here. And then we'll go do the same thing in generative fill. So let me pop this up, open it in a browser, copy this image, go over to Photoshop, say new, paste. All right, so there's where we'll start there. So let's go back to Midjourney. Hey, Midjourney, how you doing tonight? Oh, I'm fine. How you? I'm all right, Midjourney. Oh, Midjourney, you're the best. Except for the fact it's still in Discord. Am I right? Get it going. Make a site. Make a site where we can go make pictures and a pretty website. I don't want to have to go to Discord. I hang out with all the NFT bros and they make me crazy. All right, so let's see. So how did this do? I can't quite see the edges of these. So let's just grab one of these that looks decent. They're all kind of the same. These have this cool little waterfall off to the right. So we'll go grab 4. Upscale number 4. I think I want to purchase the paid version, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Oh, for Adobe, if you're using so this is still Jennifer. So if you're using it for clients, and if you're using it, if you work within a business, well, it sounds like you're a photographer. So I assume you're freelancing. You're probably using this for clients. Here's one of the big reasons to use Adobe over Midjourney is Adobe hasn't been trained on copywritten content, copywritten images. It's been trained on public domain images and Adobe stock images that they've got access to. Oh, all 3 of these added fishermen in there. That's funny. All right, well, we'll upscale number 4. Actually, that's kind of interesting. We could pop that fisherman out of there. But there's what it did. So here's what we started with, and then it added all this stuff to the right. So that's that. And then over in Photoshop, it's kind of the same thing. So I'm in the Photoshop beta, and so we've got this vertical image, and I can do the same thing here where I grab the crop tool, and I can say I want a little bit to the left, and I want a lot to the right. And so now I have, that's kind of the image area that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and I heard what you said, that you do this all the time, so we'll do this for other folks. Let me select this. So what I'm doing now is I'm selecting the image, and now I'm going to invert that selection. And what happens in the beta is that you've got this contextual menu that pops up when you select something. And so now I'm going to say generative fill. And I can put a prompt in here, so I could say, that I want, just more stream and more hills, or I can just let it try to figure it out. This is a pretty clear image, so it tends to do good with this kind of imagery. So we'll see what it does. I'm suspecting that Photoshop will not put an additional dude in there where Midjourney did. That's not quite right, because it gave us a whole second stream. It's like he's below an island right here. That's one option. There's another option. That's closer, but they're all kind of bad. All right, so we'll try another one. We'll do. Select inverse, and then we're going to do generative fill, and we'll do let's see, steep hillside, and we'll generate that, and we'll see if we can get it to give us a steep hillside instead of a second stream. And I will get back to your question. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's much better. And that's even better. That's even more better, right? This is where the stream used to come down through here, and now we got these big round boulders. So you get three different options. That one still looks like a second river. All right, that's the one, right? So that's the one. And what I might do is I might do something like that's too bright. If I want to put text over that, that's too bright. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to highlight that selection, and I'm going to say dark, moody, fall trees or something like that. And hopefully that'll darken up that section, and then we could use that for our little ad campaign for our backpacks. Yeah, perfect. Right? So now we have a nice dark area over there. That's a little too busy. That's a little too busy. So the first one's good. So there you go. So in this case, Photoshop, in my opinion, did this better than Midjourney did it, right? It filled it out nicely here. It extended it nicely there. And with a little bit of prompt magic, we did something in there. Let's try something fun. I'm going to say generative fill, black bear eating a trout. Let's see if we can get a bear in the image. Yeah, they're too dramatic, but anyway, that's funny. All right, we'll get rid of that. All right, that's generative fill. So back to your question, Jennifer. Photoshop ain't cheap, but the generative fill stuff and the access to Adobe Firefly, because that stuff is commercially viable. Like, the fear I have about Midjourney, even though it's beautiful, is because it's been trained on other people's work, especially if you use other people's artist names in your prompts. That might be problematic. Like, we don't know where the copyright and all the lawsuit stuff is going to land. So Adobe's really safe for that. And they're Adobe. They're going to get their shit together. The fact that they're leaning into this so hard. So when John Nack spoke at the AI Salon back in January, they were not clear that they were going to go into this world, because back in those early days, the artists were pissed off. They were not happy about this shit at all. So when they went into it, they did it, training on images that didn't violate anyone's copyrights, which is pretty smart. So yeah, I think they're worth playing. All right, I'm learning UX. Reloom is making me pretty sad. Yeah, I know, Timothy Brooks. So here's the deal, everyone on on ye old Learning Lab on the live tonight. This is part of the shit we're all gonna have to confront. Like, I've been confronting it with my video business for a while now. That anyone in the knowledge or creative or technology world, any jobs that are computer mediated, and a lot of them even that are tangential to that, all of our jobs are going to be completely redefined. And some of what they become we might not like, and some of what they become might mean companies don't need as many of us for that particular job. Like, there's still going to be writers, but there might not be as many of them, and what those writers do might not be what they do now. And same with UX designers, and same with engineers and coders and consultants. And I don't think anyone's exempt. If you touch a keyboard, if you touch a computer in any way, if you work in a call center, everything's going to be redefined. And, a lot of the more tactical execution kind of jobs, and a lot of the jobs that are about managing complex systems, like that Reloom site that automatically makes a site map and then wireframes of the websites, just continue that out. So it'll say, here's your site map, here's your wireframes, here's your designs, and then those are all tied to code on the back end, right? So someone's going to stitch that entire workflow together. And so within an hour, you'll be able to create a very sophisticated website effectively from a single prompt. But here's the thing. A good web designer, a good UX person, even if that stuff is auto-generated, is going to be able to look at what it generates and go, oh, that's crap. Oh, there's a better way we could do this. Let's modify this thing, and let's move these things around on the sitemap because they don't make as much sense, right? So there's going to be, just like if you've ever used ChatGPT, you can get it to 80% in like 5 seconds. Getting it to 100% is almost impossible. It's going to be the same thing with things like Reloom or whatever the tools are, where, you're a musician and you're like, I love handcrafting music, and then along comes this tool that's just like, squirt, here's your exact style, song after song after song every 3 minutes. Well, you're going to be able to use that tool in a way that a non-musician won't. So I think there's going to become superstars of figuring out the new way to do the old thing, right? And then there's going to be a lot of people that are just like, I don't want to use AI. That's not what I got in this for. And they might not just be whining like that. Like, they might be really sad because there was a post on Reddit 3 or 4 months ago about a 3D artist. He worked for a 10-person company, and there were 2 3D artists in his company. There was him, and there was a guy that wasn't as good as him. And then this AI stuff came along, and he said he went from being a 3D artist to being a prompter. And he didn't like the prompting. He liked building models. Thank you for the heart. And the guy that wasn't as good as him loved the prompting and saw the opportunity with the boss and saw a tool that could make him better. And so the guy that wasn't as good jumped on this shit, became better than the guy that was good, or I don't know if better's right, more productive, and more in the boss's favor, right? Because they were getting shit done faster. Like, instead of it taking 2 months to build a model, it was taking them a day and a half. And the post that he wrote was just this lament for his job evaporated overnight. And he was just fucking sad. And he quit. Like, he quit the company. He's like, I don't want to be a prompter. That's not my thing. And so I think Every one of us is going to confront this in some form or another. And it's, there's a piece of it that's really sad. And then, wait for it, I don't know how long the painful period's going to be. My guess is 2 to 3 years. It could be 5 years. But on the other end of the painful period, where there's all this just massive disruption and facing all of these issues, these tools are going to create new jobs that we can't even imagine today. They're going to be fucking amazing, right? Because they're just going to be at such a higher level, and they're probably going to be multimodal. Like, I feel like people that get good with these tools are going to be kind of like symphony conductors, where you've got all these tools, and you're kind of Oz behind the curtain, and you've just got this panel, and you're like, I've got a vision for a company and a website and software and a marketing plan, and let me take a week and launch that company. Like, there's gonna be people that are like that, right? They're just gonna be masterful at this shit. Who's that gonna be? It's gonna be someone that right now goes, instead of just dealing with the sadness of losing what was, lean into it and get curious about it and go, oh, what could be? Right now is the time that if you lean into what could be with this stuff, get curious about it, think of it like an adventure. When you choose to go on an adventure, you choose to go on it even if you're scared, even if there's going to be shitty things, even if you don't have the confidence that you can go slay the dragon or find the treasure or whatever the fuck your adventure is. But you do it anyway, because there's a higher sense of something. And where my head is right now is this shit's coming whether we like it or not. It just is. It's not going to get uninvented, and it's not going to get worse. These tools today are the worst they're ever going to be. Anyway, so yeah, I know. I'm with you, Timothy Brooks. I get it. It's funny. I don't know who I was talking to the other day. I forget who it was, but we were talking about COVID and lockdown and working remotely, and I was talking about, isn't it ironic that Zoom of all companies just said that they're going to ask their employees to come back to the office. Now, it's only 2 days a week and optional Fridays. Thanks, Lauren. But I feel like I'm in a bit of mourning for my own company Storyvine, where we're a small company, but we have a lot of introverts, and we have me, and I'm not. And so I get my energy from being around other people, and the other people in my company don't. And so we went into lockdown. They were living their best life. They're like, this is awesome. I don't need to deal with people, and I can get shit done. And what it's ended up doing for me as a founder of the company, and as someone who I don't know, there's something about humanity that feeds me, right? I feel like my company in a lot of ways has become a to-do list with Zoom check-ins. And that really bums me out. And so I've been kind of mourning that for a while. And then I think this stuff on top of that is kind of a second kind of death, change that we're all going to have to deal with. And so we're still trying to figure out what work looks like, now that COVID has sort of blown through society, blown through the global workforce, and done whatever it's done. And this is going to be the next sort of wave that's going to change a lot. It's going to change probably more than COVID did. Sorry, I'm adjusting my little stand here. It's gonna make some messes. All right. For a physician that wants to pursue a career in generative AI with no coding experience, what next? There's so many possibilities. So I would get really educated. There's Google just came out with a large language model called MedPalm, MEDPALM, or MedPalm 2. Whatever's the latest MedPalm that Google came out with. That's a large language model that's trained specifically on, medical stuff and medical data, and it's multimodal, so it can do imagery and things like that. I would get educated on the tools that are out there that are specific to that category. I'm trying to think. I just heard today someone just came out with a thing. I think it was on the AI marketing, the Marketing AI Institute's podcast this week. They were talking about, I forget who the company was that came out with it, but they used the MedPalm large language model and created a thing, I think, called Palmetto. Let me see if that's right. I don't want to run you down a rabbit hole. Palmetto AI. Let's see, medical. Page not found. That's not right. Nah, I can't remember what it is. So anyway, I would start paying attention to anything medical related that's going on with AI. You don't need to know coding. I would start exploring things like Pi. So Pi.ai. If you go to the App Store and you look for Pi Personal Assistant, you'll see the app for Pi, or you can go to a website, Pi.ai. That's from a company called Inflection, and it's a chatbot that's very chatty. It is not it's not efficient. Like, if you want to go do work, use these top things. But if you want to go have a conversation with a large language model, and you want to get a glimpse into the future of what it might be like to interact with these virtual agents or assistants, it's a really good thing to experiment with. So I would download the iOS version of that app. You can put it into speech mode and just start talking to it. And start asking it questions. I've got kids with chronic Lyme disease, and so I was asking it about Lyme disease and treatments and things like that. It knew all the stuff. It knew about Babesia and Bartonella and just all the stuff. And that's not even been optimized with something like MedPalm underneath it. So I would think that as a physician, you're going to be in a powerful position to understand what worked in the old model and what didn't, and be able to see opportunities to make things better. So make things better might look like better bedside manner. It might look like extending caregivers and HCPs' reach. So imagine a physical therapist. A physical therapist can only see so many patients in a week, and the patients they have might not be able to get in touch with them if they have questions and things like that. Imagine that physical therapist being able to say, here's your plan for the week, and by the way, here's the virtual me that you've got 24/7 access to, that you can ask questions to. It knows all of your record. It knows all of what we've talked about so far. And if you've got anything going on that requires my attention, the virtual me is smart enough to know that and will forward your message to me. And the next time we talk, I'll know what you talked about, right? And that, something like that could be there. These things are going to be amazing for simplifying complicated systems. I know there's a lot of companies working on that, but you could find a startup that's working on simplifying, patient records and the amount of time that nurses and doctors spend doing fucking paperwork so the insurance companies will refuse to pay them. Not that I'm bitter, but I'm fucking bitter. And I think a lot of doctors are too. It's why there's so much goddamn burnout. So here's the thing about this AI stuff is these are just tools. These are not the solution. These are just tools. The solution is you, with your expertise, saying, here's a problem that needs solved. The old way I would have solved that is XYZ. Let me go learn enough about what these things are and how they work and what they're good at and what they're not good at, that I might be able to take some small piece of this problem and experiment with solving it with these tools. And then what you might find is, holy shit, it's amazing at that. Or what you might find is it's not really ready for prime time. And, it's probably somewhere in between the two. And so don't worry, if you're not a coder, who gives a shit? We can find coders. And if you really want to learn coding, this shit'll teach you coding and it'll do a lot of it for you. If you're geeky and like geeking out on shit, great. It'll teach you how to do that. You can go do that. If you have no interest in that, great. Have no interest in that. Go solve the problem, right? Take your knowledge as in working with the system and do that with it. All right. Hope that helps. What do you need to participate in Tuesday's salon? It's a Google Meet. You just need a web browser that can do Google Meet. So you need a camera if you want to be on camera. You need a microphone if you want to talk. But there's even a dial-in number. You can just dial in and listen. Claude cut me off. Oh, wait. Hang on. Oh, TikTok just bounced me to the bottom. Oh, TikTok! You make me crazy! Happy Saturday night, everybody. Looks like we've got some new folks here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We're learning about labs. No. Also, I'm going to pop up here. So, we're popular enough now that we have been officially cloned by a fucking scammer. So if you get any messages from aiLL, 2 L's Learning Lab, that's a scammer. The word lab only has 1 L in it. And because it's aiL, and it's, if you have lowercase L's, it's like aiLL, looks very similar to aiL. So just be careful. The scammer is aiLL Learning Lab. And then, learning only has 1 L in it. So just be careful of that. I wish that wouldn't have happened. And TikTok's not dealing with it right now. So I don't think anyone other than me is allowed to report them for that, because TikTok, I've reported it now 4 times and they're like, we don't see anything wrong with it. Well, they've duped all my fucking content and they're telling all my people to sign up for a multi-level marketing piece of shits. All right. Welcome. If you have questions about AI, pop them below. What was I going to say? I try to answer them all, so I get very, very far behind on these. So if I haven't gotten to your question, or if I haven't in previous things, don't be upset with me. Don't hate me. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Don't do it. What's going on with the hair tonight? I haven't even paid attention to it. It's all right. It's not bad tonight. It's not a terrifying... The Bear. Hey everybody. Hey Mr. CGO. What's happening? The Bear is referencing my title. I have a title of Chief Generative Officer for an organization I do some work with, which I think is the first Chief Generative Officer in the history of the world. Take that. And then you might ask, what is a Chief Generative Officer? Fantastic question, Bob. Tell him what he's won. You can make money with ChatGPT. But Claude cut me off today too. Yeah, that bugged me because it was like, you've got 5 questions left. You've got 4 questions left. And I'm like, just don't fuck up my question and I won't keep doing this. Thank you, the bear. That's my dangly lights. I like the dangly lights. Whoa, the bear reached member level 11. The bear just turned it up to 11. Holy shit. I have no idea what that means, but I like it. We got some Spinal Tap going on in here. That's unusual. I talked to Claude all day at work. I hope it's not a new thing. So, Cuppy, I think what's going on with Claude, I'm taking the transcripts from these lives, which are like the one I did, the one I was experimenting with was a 3 hour and 18 minute live. So it was a transcript from 3 hours and 18 minutes of me just rambling. So it's a really long input. So I have a feeling it's number of tokens. So if you're just doing short back and forth with Claude, it's probably not. It's not going to rate limit you. And I'm trying to do like what I'm trying to do is this is I can show you what my prompt is insane for this thing. What I'm trying to do is have it read a 3 hour transcript, and then on average pull out 6 interesting things I said per hour as chapters, and create a YouTube title, a YouTube description, and chapters with time code on them. And like, it'll do it perfect. And I'm like, awesome, I got it. And then the next one I do, it'll do like, 6 quotes from the first 15 minutes of the thing and ignore the rest of the transcript. I'm like, and then I try to change that up, and then it just messes something else up, and so where I ended up getting was, I said, okay, let me just generate the chapters first and not worry about the title and the description. And so I was sort of halfway through getting the chapters done, and that's when Claude said, go screw yourself. And then I went to Code Interpreter, because I thought, oh, I know, I'll pop it into Code Interpreter in ChatGPT, and it can read the long file, and it's GPT-4, and it's going to be awesome. And then it just kept writing Python code, and it was like, I can't understand the time code, and this is in RTF, and then I uploaded it as a text file, and then it could sort of read it, but it could sort of do the math, and sort of, like, I don't know. It's just, sometimes these things they make it a little crazy. But here's the thing. When I solve that, like going through the nightmare of learning how to use these tools right now, like what it's training me to do is just think very, very critically about how you use words to pull interesting magic out of these things. I don't think that's going to be super critical long term. I think the machines are going to start prompting themselves and get really good. But in the short term, it's really important. And it's also fun and really gratifying when you get it right. Because here's the deal: when you get those prompts right, and you can sort of lock that shit down, and then you can just start popping in long form YouTube transcripts and getting out really good answers. Like, I can go back and do a whole bunch of content generation, which is really exciting. All right, you will take on the persona of an IT entrepreneur that is versed enough in AI to teach TikTokers. That's what I've done. It's funny. It's like, like I have a choice with this channel, which, like, this is a really interesting kind of dilemma. As we build community here, some of the people that have been here a lot and come a lot, if I just keep with the beginner stuff, then it kind of loses its value. And then, but if I make it too advanced, the new people will come and they'll be like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And so I'm trying to sort of skate between those two worlds. Why I think it's okay to keep focusing on the relatively, like, what if you've done nothing with this? Go start with ChatGPT. Here's the tools. Is this stuff's changing so fast that 3 months from now, if you check in with me, even though I'm still doing the beginning kind of stuff, I will likely be talking about different tools, different techniques, different challenges, different news items that are like, holy shit, this company just laid off 50% of their staff or whatever it might be, and so I think there's lots for us to talk about, even if this doesn't end up diving deep. And a number of folks have asked me, do I have a workshop? Have I thought about doing a workshop? I think I might do a workshop at some point. I've kind of mentally made that decision. I just haven't quite decided what I want it to be. So if I do that, I'll let y'all know, obviously. All right, where do I find those information? I don't know which information you're talking about. Any cinnamon in that coffee? No, this is cinnamon free, but I do have cinnamon here, but I'm not putting it in there because it made a mess last night. I had like a cinnamon mustache. It was not good. I don't have enough milk in that coffee. Chris, what's happening? Cavruno! I love seeing people coming back. This is really fun. I need an AI assistant that helped me remember things. Disabled veteran requesting a suggestion. There's not a good short-term answer right now. Crap. There is. The fuck was it called? First of all, thank you for your service. There is, if you just hang on for another, I don't know, 3 or 6 months, there's going to be tools coming out that do this. So when Apple releases their AI, I have a feeling it's going to have memory. I assume at some point OpenAI is going to do it. I definitely think that Pi's going to do it. The inflection company here. There's a company called, or there's a project called LangChain, where you can build these large language models so that they have memory. So, and I know that there's a project out there. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Because, wait, I got an email about it. Hang on. Let me see. Well, let's just go look, shall we? Isn't that special? Aren't you just terrific? All right. Hops and Pie. TikTok Voyager. Runway. Let me see. AI memory. Recollect. Okay, I found it. The caveat here is I don't know if this is any good, but try read-collect.ai. And let's go look at the site. Hang on. read-collect.ai. Accept invitation. So you have to apply for the wait list. Oh, it already exists. I already have an account. I don't know if this is any good, but I think this is what you're talking about. Start. Okay, let's watch this together.
I'm Alice, the founder and CEO of Recollect. I'm really excited today to start using your account. Once you've completed your onboarding, you'll have the extension installed, and I recommend that you pin it like I did. As you browse online, we'll automatically bring in most articles for you, and you can intentionally bring in things like PDFs. As you read, you can also do things like highlight information. Right-click here and click our extension, and that will bring in those highlights for you on this article, and you can also add notes if you'd like. If not, simply click off. The extension here, if I click it, will show me that this article has come into my account with this check mark.
Nah, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem like what you're asking for. I don't know. Keep checking back here. So the challenge that you're facing. My dad had Alzheimer's and was an Air Force vet. The challenge that you're facing, this AI stuff's going to be brilliant for. We just haven't quite gotten to the point that the memory piece of these AI tools is not there right now. So like within a ChatGPT session, it'll have memory of that conversation up to a certain point, but it doesn't have memory across them. That stuff's coming. It's coming. It's just not there right now. So I'd say just be a little patient with it. I'll keep an eye out for it because I think it's a fascinating challenge, and I think it's going to be so fucking empowering. It's going to be like a superpower for anyone. My wife had a brain injury, so anyone who's got memory issues and challenges with that stuff, I think this stuff's going to be incredible for that. The tools that I know of are not there yet, but they will be here at some point. I like making ChatGPT pretend to be Shang Tzu from Mortal Kombat and say his catchphrases. Oh yeah, it's good for that. It's great for party tricks. Actually, Pi is really good at that. What did I ask Pi? I said to Pi, I wanted to learn something and I wanted it to teach me something by inventing a game, and it came up. It invented like a trivia game, and then it started asking me questions, and it was actually really interesting. And that starts to point to a future of hyper personalization, where it's like I'm not just gonna learn. If I want to learn a new language, I could go buy the off the shelf language learning system that someone invented, but I could also just say, hey, I want to learn Spanish, and I want to learn it, talking about, I don't know, fluffy kittens, whatever the hell is, with cultural movie references, and I want you to, turn every lesson into a game, and it'll just start doing that, and going back to that memory thing, these interactions are going to start being recorded. So these agents that we interact with are going to remember what we talked about yesterday and 3 months ago and 6 months ago and a year ago. And you'll be able to say things like, hey, I feel like I've kind of stagnated. Am I really learning anything new? Tell me where I was 3 months ago. Oh, sure, Kyle. Well, 3 months ago you had 6 words in your vocabulary. Oh, right. And now you have 622. So that kind of stuff is coming. And playing with these tools with things like the Mortal Kombat, toy, right? The toy that you made. You're learning how to do that. And at some point, I guarantee you this will happen. Some problem's going to come up where someone's like, I really need to solve this thing. And it's going to be some variation on what you built for the Mortal Kombat thing. And you'll be like, oh, let me show you something. And you show them your little Mortal Kombat tool. And I'm like, this is kind of like what you're talking about, right? And they're like, yeah, if we could just do that for this. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Let me just change the prompt. Here you go. Emilio's wife, what's happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stable Doodle is doing text quite well. Is it? Wow. All right, so Stable Doodle, here, that's what it is. Clipdrop.co. Stable Doodle. So okay, so what is clipdrop.co? Clipdrop.co is similar if you've played or seen anyone play with Adobe Firefly, where there's like these different tools, or Descript is another one where there's different tools. This is Stability AI, so the company behind Stable Diffusion. These are all just individual little tools. Like here's Stable Diffusion XL. That's their Midjourney competitor. They have an uncrop tool, which is like unzoom in Midjourney. They've got a reimagine tool where you could. Oh, actually, Tobias, reimagine. So go to clipdrop.co and upload your car picture to Reimagine. So Reimagine's a cool tool where you can like upload a photograph of a bedroom, and it will maintain the composition, but change out like windows and walls and drapery and bed sheets and things like that. That could work with your car image, Reimagine. But then they have this Stable Doodle thing, and let's see. Can you type in text? Let's see. Let's do. This is embarrassingly bad drawing. And I'm going to type in help wanted sign in shop window. So that's my shop. Oh, did it. Holy crap. Cuppy 206, bringing the heat. All right. So here's your value of the AI Learning Lab. I love it. I love it when members help one another and like bring new stuff. That's super cool. So if you don't like the fact that this says help wanted, getting these generative tools to say anything remotely like what you want is really tough. And that just did it. And it basically followed my little model there. That's pretty slick. Wow. All right, Cuppy 206. I can I give you back a heart? I can block you. I can report you. I can translate you and mute you. But no, I can't acknowledge you. Cuppy 206, golf clap. Very nice. That's really cool. But anyway, yeah, that's clipdrop.co. So that's Stability AI's little pile of tools. They have a relighting tool. They have an image upscaling tool. They have a background replacement tool. And they have a text remover. If you've ever tried to Photoshop text out of a complicated image with subtle gradations, that's almost impossible. So lots of tools. These sites are really interesting. What these basically say to me is, all of the companies doing this work are experimenting with all sorts of different things. And these are their experiments. And the ones that work, they're going to roll into, products. And the ones that don't, they'll just jettison. So, but we get to play in the meantime. That's super cool. Thank you for sharing that. Super, super cool. Use ChatGPT to get sales intelligence. Use ChatGPT to get sales intelligence biz ideas off the ground. Writing sales emails using triggers. Yep, Ted, that's perfect. That's awesome. And again, it's like do the stuff that you're already doing and just have these tools help you do it better as you get your head around what they make possible. Great. Here's another tip. I was working with some of the folks where I'm the chief generative officer, that group. And oh no, you know what this was? This was last Friday, yesterday. I was given a workshop to a big multinational corporation, an AI, how to use ChatGPT kind of workshop. And we did kind of an AI confessionals at the beginning of the thing, like who's used ChatGPT over the last week, and what did you learn, and did you do anything for work? And this one guy said, well, I didn't really do anything for work, but at home, my kid wanted a story, and so we went to ChatGPT and we made a story for her where she told me what she wanted the story to be about, and we made this story. And so ever since we've done that, like every night we've had a new story that we're generating, and you could tell he got really excited about it. And it's one of the we're so early in whatever these things are going to be that literally anything you do with them, whether it's making the Mortal Kombat slang talker, or you're making personalized books for your kids, or you're writing a creative resigning email that basically tells them to fuck off without telling them to fuck off. Like anything you do where you sort of get your head around how these things work and what they're good at is going to serve you in lots of other places, right? Because you're putting the piece parts together of how this incredibly deep and sophisticated, tool works, right? And someone's going to ask you something at work, and you're going to be like, oh, that's just like the thing I did for the kids' book. Wait a minute, I know how to do this, right? And you're going to be able to solve something without even knowing that what you learned over here was actually directly applicable over there. So don't judge anything that you do right now. Even if it's brilliant, don't judge it as brilliant, because 3 months from now, someone will come out with a feature that will probably obliterate it. And then don't beat yourself up if you think like, well, this is just stupid. Nothing's stupid right now. Any insight you have is going to be a revelation for someone else. There needs to be more legislation in AI tech. I don't disagree with that. If you're interested, the four major players: Microsoft, Meta, Google, OpenAI. I think there might be 7. But they just created this group called the Frontier Model Group, the Frontier Model something. Frontier Model Forum. So go look up the Frontier Model Forum. And they're basically agreeing, like the big companies that are building these really strong models are agreeing to work together to share technology and anything they learn about alignment. And alignment with these tools is basically like, are the goals of the AI machines aligned with the goals of these meat bag machines? And if they're not, we're in trouble. And so, and the other thing, Sam Altman and Microsoft and Google to a degree, lesser degree, but to a degree, have been pretty aggressive about interacting with Washington and saying, like, Sam Altman's been, openly talking about, please, regulate us. And he has a plan. Like companies the size of OpenAI should be regulated if they get good enough that they can do things that are what they call AGI, artificial general intelligence. Those should be licensed, like you license a nuclear power plant. And then everyone else, he says, they shouldn't be regulated. So you've got some activity from the major players in these companies interacting with Washington in what seems like a pretty smart way right now. I don't know how, they're not necessarily being transparent, but they're at least being active and visibly active. So I totally agree with you. What AI are you using? Is anyone able to get it? I don't know which AI I was using. The image thing that I was generating in Midjourney. Anyone can get Midjourney, but you do have to do it in Discord. The Photoshop thing where I extended the photograph in Photoshop, that's the Photoshop beta, so you need a Creative Cloud subscription. The other thing I've used tonight was, I don't even think I've done anything in ChatGPT yet, so I think it was Midjourney. Ask it if it believes in God. It'll tell you it doesn't believe in anything, and certainly if you start asking it about to comment on religion, a lot of its safety guardrails won't deal with it. Yeah, I mean, if you really like, I mean, if you want to get educated about religion, it knows about all of them, right? The minute you start going into that territory of like, does it believe in things like that, the safety guardrails are pretty tight around that. If you really want to explore that shit, go to labs.perplexity and play with the Llama 2 models. And if you really want to explore that shit, install your own Llama 2 models and train them on your own and take off all the safety guardrails altogether. And I talked to a guy that he built a bot within his Slack his company Slack thing using Llama 2 without any safety guardrails. He says it cusses so much that he said it's embarrassing how much it cusses. And he said it changes personality every 3 days. He said it's wild having one of these models that doesn't have the safety guardrails on it. He said it's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, if you think about that, you got a professional work environment and you put it on your Slack channel, and this thing starts being racist and aggressive and violent and cussing and all that sort of stuff in a work environment. Does that guy open himself up for a hostile work environment lawsuit because he installed a non-safe model? Possibly. So, I mean, feel free to go play with the unrestricted models from Meta, but just know that they're unrestricted. I was hoping to use Bing to help design a new logo. It appears that everything is watermarked. Really? You mean like the little watermark down on the lower right? Bing, ba bing, 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 ba bing, 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 ba bing, 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 bing. Let's see. Make me an illustrated logo of an organic avocado company that has a prairie dog as its mascot. Wow, that's a very creative request. I'm happy to help you do that. You know, you should just be able to, like, there should be a button on all these things that's like, I'm not in the mood. And it's just like, when I ask you shit, just tell me the answer. Don't give me the fluff. I don't see any watermarks here, but wait, do I? Oh, you used Bing Create. Bing Create's a completely different thing, isn't it? Hang on. Isn't Bing Create like their Canva sort of thing? Bing Create. No, that's the image generator. What was that prompt I just gave it? Hang on. Where's my Bing? Where did my Bing go? What did I do? Did I lose my Bing? Oh, Bing, where'd you go? Oh, no, Bing. I lost my little avocado logos. Oh, tab management. Oh, ADD. Oh, there it is. These are actually cute little logos. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So this is Bing Create, and I'm not getting watermarks. So maybe you need to have an account is a possibility. I don't know what to tell you. To help design a new logo, it appears everything is watermarked. You could try, you could also try Leonardo.ai, which sits on top of Stable Diffusion. They've got a free version that you can do, like, I don't know, 7 or 10 images a day for free. If you've got access to the Adobe Creative Cloud, you could try Firefly. They seem to be actually doing pretty good with the logo stuff. Although I don't know if Firefly... Hang on. I think
I didn't get that.
Shut up.
Could you try again?
Oh! Stop, Siri. Adobe Firefly Beta, FAQ. let's see. Can you use Adobe Firefly images commercially yet? You cannot. So Adobe Firefly is still in beta, so you can't use anything it creates commercially. So that sucks. So I think Firefly and Photoshop Generative Fill are going to be good, but they're not ready yet. I would try Leonardo. It might be worth your while to play around with Midjourney because it's pretty good at the logo stuff as well. But I'm not seeing the watermarks that you are for Bing Create. I love how y'all have set up to play with Midjourney and such in the salon. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's neat to be able to be in a community where you can ask questions and talk about things and talk about the news in a way that where you can see everyone's images and you can see, oh, that's Roger's images or that's Allie's images. Yeah, it's neat. It's pretty fun. AI should only be used as a tool by a human and not replace humans in a workplace. It should, but it will definitely replace humans in the workplace. I think it's going to be a long time until, I don't know, long time. I don't know what that means. Within the next 2 years, probably more like 5 years, I think most of the time, humans will still be in the loop, but there will probably be less humans needed to do the same amount of work. So even if AI is only used as a tool, we're still going to lose jobs. Paul Raitzer today on the I listened to his podcast today, the Marketing AI Institute's weekly podcast. He made a really interesting point. They were talking about ChatGPT's code interpreter, which is a full-on data analyst in your pocket, right? You can if you do a survey, of 1,000 people asking them all sorts of questions, you can just pop that data into code interpreter and generate charts and graphs and insights and identify trends and anomalies in the data. He made a great point that it's like they can now do data analysis in their company. And he said, even if we were a 100-person company, I don't know how many people they have, maybe they have 50 people right now. He said, even if we were a 100-person company, we would not hire a data analyst. We don't have enough data to analyze. But he goes, with this tool, we're now doing full-on data analysis. So they're kind of leveling up the quality of what they do because this tool's available. So I think that's also going to happen is that there's going to be kind of an amplification of the capabilities of the humans that are in a company. The challenge is, like, I'll take a world I know. If I look at agencies that right now have a time and materials model, they charge by the hour for their creative people. So if they think it's going to take 50 people a year to execute all the stuff that the client wants, then they bill them those 50 people times the number of hours they work times $120 an hour or whatever it is. They're going to be competing with small 10-person shops that can do the same amount of work at the same or better quality for half the price. How do they compete in that world without cutting costs? I don't know how they can. Or without cutting employees. I don't know how they can. So, I don't know. I do not know. I do not have a good answer for that one. Replacing humans with an AI is a crime against humanity. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think listen, I think there's going to be disruption here that's going to be massively painful, and some of it's not going to be great. A lot of the jobs that are out there are repetitive, cog in the machine, mindless, soul-crushing work. And these tools are going to automate some of that out. And what that may, the benefit that may cause is people stop working those jobs that are not fulfilling in any way, that are crushing, and they apply their talents to other kinds of jobs. And those might be jobs that they enjoy more. So I think there's going to be a lot of reinvention of people either discovering that they want to do something different, or, potentially being forced into some new line of work or some new way of working that ultimately might be better. So I don't think it's, are there going to be bad situations? And a lot of them, yeah, I think I agree with. I absolutely agree with that. And it sucks. And this shit isn't getting uninvented. Computers and robotics did the same thing. Yep, absolutely. And major gift fundraising. How you doing tonight? Kyle, can we talk more about automations? Yeah, ask me a specific questions. I'm happy to share what I can. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll do an automation workshop. That would probably be a good one. Like using Zapier, do some automation stuff. Because it's, it's funny. The conceptually automations are really simple, but when you get into them and when you get into the prompt crafting of them and how you incorporate fields into the things, it's a bit of a shit show. So that might be a good workshop to do. That would be awesome. Thanks for the recommendation. I know the photography world will be affected too. Yeah, Jennifer, I don't know if you're still here, but Leah Faston, she's been a professional photographer for 25 years, and she's really good. She's really talented. And when we started the salon, she hadn't even played with generative AI yet. We were just talking about, she was curious about it, and she sensed that it was coming. And she was talking about, listen, I've been through the transition from film to digital. Like, I know what this is like. Everyone's scared of it, and then we figure it out. And so she goes, I'm going to start learning this stuff. And I was pretty good at Stable Diffusion at that point. So I was teaching her a little bit about Stable Diffusion. And then she just sort of went all in and figured out how to replicate her style using Stable Diffusion. She could take images and, train up using Dream Booth and things like that, train up, the LoRa's to mimic her style. And she was a little bit blown away, and she was like, oh, this is there's a part of it for her that was like really disturbing and terrifying. And then there was a part of it for her that was really exhilarating, and it's like, this is the new camera, right? And I'm able to express my vision for what I think is important in photography, and I can express that with these tools, even though they had fingers that looked like this. And then Stable Diffusion got a step better, and she was then able to, I think it was in Midjourney, she was able to upload one of her photographs and just sort of infinitely generate things that looked like her photography. And that really freaked her out. And that's the kind of thing I'm seeing. I'm seeing it with copywriter friends of mine. I'm seeing it with artists. I'm seeing it with photographers, where as they lean into it, they're discovering an excitement about the future of what it might be like, but they're very much being confronted with the reality of, if one of her clients at some point, if the tools get easy enough that anyone anywhere can just take any image, like that image from that Wired magazine that's got that pink background and he's got a big forehead, you could just take that and pop that in and say, I want to generate a whole series of images that follow that style with all, describing the characters that you want, and it just does it flawlessly. What happens to all those photographers? What happens to that photographer? That I don't know. I mean, I do know. And then who become the trusted creative resources in that environment? They might not be the people that were the trusted resources previously, right? Some might be. Some are going to make the transition. But it could be a 25-year-old kid who masters, a particular masters copying styles, right? Without using artist names. They're just really good at the tools. So that could be coming. All right. That would be awesome. Thanks for the recommendation. Okay. On Midjourney, how do we put an image in it? All right, let me show you that. Midjourney. All right, so here's, I'm in Discord. These are your servers. Here's your conversations. I'm in the AI Salon right now, and I'm in the Midjourney channel. So if you want to upload an image to use essentially as your source to then do a prompt on top of, you do it like this. You go to, I'm on a Mac, so I go to Finder, I find an image, and these are some of my Kyle Shannon dreams things. Those are, Let me go find something. Oh, there's Champy. There's my doggy. All right, let's grab Champy, actually. All right, so I'm going to pop that in there. So I literally just dragged it from my Finder window into the Discord chat, and I hit return. And so what that's done is now it's uploaded it into Discord. So now I'm going to right-click, or on a Mac, control-click, and I'm going to say copy link. So I'm going to copy the URL of this image, and then you basically just do /imagine like you normally would. And rather than typing anything, you paste in the link to that image, and then you say, chubby dog looking at a spare rib while lying on the beach at sunset. So we'll see if it does it. Like it should make a dog that looks like Champy. See his little prison, his prison tier? He shanked someone in the big house. Johnny Bullets, 10 out of 10 on the name. AI that's free. I'll get back to that in a second. Oh, this definitely looks like Champ. This is cool. Notice, if you haven't seen Midjourney before, if you haven't seen how these diffusion models make the images, they start as like these kind of random noise images, and then they just get increasingly less noisy until they're actually just generated. This looks like him a lot, the one in the upper right. That's pretty cute. He's on the beach. The one on the bottom here's got some bones. That's pretty cute. And then I could say, let's do /imagine, pop that image back in there, and I'll now do claymation sculpture of a chubby black dog dancing in a diner. Claymation. Claymation sculpture of a chubby, not Chevy, chubby black dog dancing in a diner. And we'll do AR, --AR 16:9. Unrecognized parameter. Dang it. Hold, please. Hold, please. Old man trying to type. Bang. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I haven't had any trolls tonight telling me, isn't it cute that the elderly are teaching people how to use AI on TikTok? Come on. Where are my trolls? Where are my trolls, peeps? By the way, feel free to subscribe to or to follow my channel. I make TikTok videos. I do these lives a lot. If you want to be notified when I go live, feel free to follow me. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. Let's see. Is this going to look claymation-y? It's not looking super claymation-y right now. They're not really claymation-y, but they're cute. They sort of have claymation kind of eyes. Anyway, so hope that helps. AI that's free. Okay, so Johnny Bullets here. ChatGPT is free, but you can pay $20 a month for the fancy version. Claude is free. Bing is free. Bard is free. Labs.perplexity is free. Pi is free. Poe is free, but there's an upsell. There's a $20 upsell there as well. If you're going to pay $20, pay it. There's an upsell. There's a $20 upsell there as well. If you're going to pay $20, pay it to OpenAI because it's just a better tool. And all the rest are free. And then for images, Leonardo.ai is sort of free. You get 7 or 10 images a day. There's something like Midjourney called Blue Willow, where you generate images in Discord, and that's free. Trying to think what else. These are the biggies. If you're just trying to get your head around this ChatGPT stuff and this large language model stuff, just start with these. Most of them have some sort of free option, and some are all free. Do you pay for it? I pay for ChatGPT. I pay for Midjourney. The lowest, it's like $10 a month because I don't do it a ton. I pay for Zapier to do automations. I pay for Google Colab to do stable diffusion. But I pay for that, but I haven't used stable diffusion in ages because I pay for Midjourney now. And it's a bit of a pain in the ass to set up. Trying to think what else I pay for. I pay for a video thing. That's it. That's kind of it. I don't pay for much. I'm purposefully trying to keep myself limited because this shit's so overwhelming as it is. Like the fact that there are 7 things on this list, I should cut this down to 3, but I can't because they all have something interesting. And I could go through why I have these 7 on here, but I think they're all worth exploring. And those are just the ChatGPT-like things. And we don't have Apple in there. We don't have Elon Musk's, whatever his entry is going to be in there. And we don't have whatever thing is being researched right now. That list is probably going to go to 10 soon. So it's pretty overwhelming right now. The Salon is free. Discord is free. ChatGPT 3.5 is free. So thanks, Dragonfly Alchemy. Some freed, some are paid. I don't pay for anything myself. Yeah, you don't have to pay for anything right now. There's enough free options with this stuff. Here's the deal. Most of these things are just this side of demoware, right? Like the underlying large language models sitting underneath them are incredibly powerful, and they spent a lot of years on them. The application layers for these, like ChatGPT itself, is just now starting to get basic features. Like, you still can't, this blows my mind. This is my chat history, right? So this is all of the chats I've ever interacted with. You still can't search for them. So if I want to go find something I did, like I know I did something on a Twitter thread And the problem is because I demo this thing on lives all the time. Like most of my recent ones are all stuff that I've done in here that are not things that I would be searching for. So these tools are very, 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 very raw right now. So that's why a lot of them are free. As they get better, they'll start charging for them. But as they get better, it'll be worth paying for them. I heard the coolest hack for Midjourney. Oh, tell us, do share. Fight for a human's future. You find someone's image and prompt you like, then you change 2 to 3 words and you get what you are wanting. Yeah, that's a cool hack. There's also look up. I haven't played with it, so I haven't played with it recently, so I forget how to do it. So I don't want to put you through me trying to remember that. But look up remixing in Midjourney, because there's uploading the image and doing what you just described, but there's also remixing where you're remixing 2 images. And that's an interesting way where you don't have to use prompting at all. Don't pay for AI sellout. Don't pay for AI sellout. Don't. Johnny Bullets, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. I'm sorry, but as a self-respecting woman, Discord makes my ovaries shrivel up. It's so brodio with a horrid UX. I'm telling you, it's so bad. Discord is just it's a fucking disaster. It is. It's just like it's like crypto bros, man. Man. It's all about the community of douchebags. I'm in one good NFT community, and even that one has got some sketch. We must have better legislation in AI. Yes, you've said that. And I agree. Better legislation for all. We all need more legislation. We want regulation. Why are you regulating us? Stop regulating us. We want more. That's too much. We want more. Less. Never any regulation except for the ones that I like. Yeah, I know. It's true. Hey, where do you need truth tables? In a microprocessor? If you're asking me about microprocessor design, this is the wrong channel. Silly question. Basics on AI. I don't quite know what you're asking, Nit or Knight. If you can clarify that. I know nothing about sort of memory and microprocessor design and routing and logic gates and shit like that. I know the words, but I don't know at all what I'm talking about there. What's the best for video free? There's not many options right now for free video. All of the time-based media, the video, the audio synthesis, the animation, talking things, they all cost money and they're all expensive. I think that we'll see. So the CEO of Stability AI has said that the version of image generation that they're using inside Stability AI right now, or they're developing right now, is rendering at 60 frames a second. So I have a feeling that Stability will at some point here launch something that's doing 30 frame a second or 60 frame a second video, and they'll probably have a free option. But right now, there's just nothing. So, it's awful. Wow, that's cool, Kyle. I don't know what I did, but awesome. Alien invasions will create a government agency to control AI technology. Wait. Unicreel TV. Crea. Oh, Unicrea TV? So, I assume you're a conspiracy theory TV show. Awesome, but okay. I don't know. The world's so fucked up right now that it's possible that the government just announced we have alien technology and the rest of the world's like, whatever. Where's all the panic in the streets? But they haven't really announced it. Like that, the thing 2 weeks ago with the two guys, like, you know, the whistleblowers talking about we have alien technology. Neither of them had any actual data or like facts. It was all like, well, I heard Bob said we've got an alien in the back of that 49 pickup. I'm like, okay. It's like, come on. We're gonna have it. Let's have it. What about stable diffusion? Okay, so here's the thing about stable diffusion and why when I talk about image generation stuff, the three that I talk about right now are Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, and Leonardo. So Leonardo is a web front end on top of stable diffusion. So is Blue Willow, which is the Discord-based version of that. The reason I don't talk as much about stable diffusion is that it's just a pain in the ass to... Actually, you know what I should probably put on here? Maybe I'll do that right now. Thank you for that. Clip drop.co. Because those are both... Because that's stable diffusion. You can play with stable diffusion XL there. But see my problem? Like, I try to keep these things simple, and it's just like they just, you know, there's a lot going on. Here's the deal with stable diffusion. It's a really exciting tool and project, and XL gets pretty close to Midjourney. It's just really complicated to set up, and because it's open source, and because so many developers are developing so many features so quickly, it's a software management nightmare. Unless you're a geek and you really like keeping up with the latest version and updating your Jupyter notebooks and writing your own fucking Python code. If you want flexibility and if you want sort of the latest and greatest tools, Stable Diffusion's the way to go. If you want the best quality right now, Midjourney's the way to go, but a lot of people are catching up. If you want something that's commercially not dangerous, Firefly and Generative Fill for Adobe are the way to go. And then if you want just images that are kind of okay, DALL-E and Bing images are the way to go. I think those will get better. I think OpenAI is going to release some version of DALL-E that doesn't suck, but it sucks right now. I've been in IT for 43 years. This job is constantly changing. Yeah. Well, if you're in IT, it's constantly changing. The thing that's different, David, I think about this stuff is you're probably already dealing, like, if you're in IT, you've been dealing with machine learning and AI stuff probably for a lot of years anyway, right? Like, the generative stuff isn't new, but what the generative stuff adds for IT groups is there are going to be systems that come out that dramatically simplify the complicated, right? So within Windows 11, Microsoft is going to put generative AI Copilot in on top of Windows. So you'll just be able to say, reconfigure my system, to, I don't know, change these settings. And it will just go find the settings and change them. And that's going to happen sort of at a big IT level as well. So you're still going to have to manage that layer up there. But what happens to all the people whose job it is to manage all that stuff manually right now? What you may not need as many of them, or you may need to find new things for them to do, or the IT group may shift into an innovation group because these tools can do so many things that you might be able to quickly be developing applications and things within the role of IT might change dramatically. So even though things in IT are always changing and evolving, I think these tools are just enough of a different nature that it might radically change what you do and what the group does. It's fascinating stuff. Got a question for you. The motherfucker. All right, the motherfucker. Got a question for you. No shit. All right, motherfucker. What's your question? Put your question in there. So what are your plans? No shit. Oh, I think we got a troll, motherfucker. The motherfucker. I think he's trolling me. I don't know what your... It's here. I don't know what your... Continue... No. All right. AI is the best technology ever made. When AI starts to create even better AI, it will improve exponentially. I think that's starting to happen now. If you look at, like, every time you see a white paper on Twitter, and then 3 days later you see a new white paper that incorporates that white paper and two others for some new white paper, and then they take that white paper and incorporate, like, holy crap, like the Lang chain and the Auto GPT and Baby AGI, and I forget what the new one is. And then you got GPT you got all these things just sort of stacking on top of one another. It's absolutely insane right now. My pal's in charge of public health for nursing homes, and hundreds of people a week are still dying of COVID. Yeah, it's not over. And it looks like there's a new variant that's putting a lot of people in hospitals right now. Yeah, I know it's not over. It's weird how we were in lockdown and then we just kind of weren't. But it ain't over yet. So yeah, at some point some variant may shut us back in. I sat in this office for 2.5 years. Ugh. Yeah. It's going to be a new kind of lonely. I don't know what I was talking about back then. Why use Google to search for medical AI when you can use an AI tool to find it for you? Yeah, I agree with that. Although, you have Google Bard is connected to the internet now. To find anything up to date, you need something connected to the internet. So you need Bing or Bard or one of the plugins for ChatGPT, since they killed its connection to the internet. And by the way, why has that not come back? Why have they not fixed that? It's been over a month. It's been, 6 weeks since they got rid of ChatGPT being connected to the internet? Bing's still connected to the internet. Their plugins are still connected to the internet. What the actual fuck? Sam Altman. Sam, are you... I don't know if Sam is a regular watcher of the AI Learning Lab, but, I like to think that he is. Sam, what are you doing, buddy? Like, I know you pissed off Time Inc. with the Fortune magazine thing, like, pulling content from behind the firewall. Cute trick. But, seriously? You haven't fucking patched the hole? Like, what is the issue? I can only imagine... the issue cannot be a technical one. I guarantee you it's not a technical issue. I think the issue is... I think they're in a negotiation right now with publishers. And I think the publishers are like, if you connect that fucking thing to the internet and you steal more of my content before we have a deal where you give us $12 trillion, we're going to have an issue. I think that's why it hasn't come back. But fucking do your negotiation, cut your deals, and give us back our connection to the internet. This is about us, not you. We got someone in the chat here called the motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? You don't fuck around with this community. You don't do it. Hook it back up. Good Lord. I'm all verklempt. She's all verklempt. Well, wasn't that special? Looks like Mr. Shannon just took a trip down Satan Lane. Isn't that terrific? Wow. Didn't take long for that to happen, did it? Had a little bit of that caffeine. The devil's juice. The devil's juice. Time check. 8:37 p.m. Mountain Time. What time is it, actually? 10 to 10. Okay, listen. I have to be at my co-founder's house tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. So I can't be up much longer. I got to finish packing. I'm going to New York City, and I'm getting my eye zapped by one of Sam Altman's orbs. And what else am I doing? Going to see a big pharma client. I'm not going to be there long. We're flying in tomorrow, and then I come back Wednesday morning. So, like, quick, intense trip, which is good. 5K80s to do Llama 2. Yeah, I don't know what the requirements are for Llama 2. For the 70 billion parameter one, I think you need some pretty serious iron, but I think the 7 and the 13, you don't need a ton. I think you can do the 7 and the 13 on a Apple Silicon, but I haven't played with them yet. That's why I have this up here, the labs.perplexity. You can't train it, but you can at least go play with the models and see where they are right now. Have you seen anything on project management for infrastructure improvement, master planning a city? Like, no, I just, like, that's significantly more specialized than what I'm dealing with right now. I would go to futurepedia.io and look for it. My strong suspicion is that probably not with this generative AI stuff, but there's probably some AI assisted tools within project management software for that kind of stuff. I would think that if you've got that kind of expertise, you learning these tools, just getting up to speed on these tools, it could be the kind of thing you could contribute to something there. But I don't know. Go check out futurepedia.io and see if you find anything. That feels fairly specialized. I would assume that's going to be probably an existing entity in that space that layers this generative stuff on top of their tool is what you'll see first. So I just start paying attention to the... you know what might be interesting is go to Reddit and search for the kinds of keywords you have there, and then generative AI or GPT, project management, master planning, infrastructure improvement. I'm sure there's people talking about it there, and if they're talking about it, if there's a tool there, they'll be talking about the tool. So that might be a way to find that. That feels like something specialized enough that probably not for a year or two. But I'm totally clueless to that world, so gonna ask AI to explain Web3 to me. If you get a good answer, Big Bitch 420, 10 out of 10 on the name. If you get an answer for that, let me know. Diagnostics will be great, but as an MD, you'll have to dig. Yeah, they're like a virtual PA. Yep, exactly. These tools are not really ready for prime time yet, so we have to give them a little grace. Cinematic voice actor, 1971. Voice acting is going to be slammed by this stuff. How are you going to fix the safety braking instructions allowing illegal activity with GPT-4? I don't think you are. And quite frankly, Meta open sourcing their Llama 2 model, like at least OpenAI has some safety guardrails on it. Yeah, hackers are going to hack. And a paper just came out last week that someone figured out how to put a code, some code at the end of a prompt that will jailbreak any of these things, and there's nothing they can do about it. They didn't actually put the prompt itself in the paper or the code in the paper, but someone's cracked that already. Like, that's done. But the illegal activity using Llama 2, that like Meta just putting out the weights, some would argue is irresponsible. So we can at least fucking OpenAI, at least Sam Altman said they're committing 20% of their compute resources to super alignment so that they keep these things safe. Like, at least the big companies are aware of what you're talking about, and they're putting tools in place for the safety. The fact that people are going to hack it and figure out ways to do shitty things with it, how is that any different than what we've had before, other than the fact that they can do way shittier things? But the good guys also have these tools as well. Don't forget that. You'll be able to fuck with the hackers too, right? You'll be able to catch them and punish them and do all sorts of shit to them the other direction, right? So that war continues. Like, that war's been going on ever since there was something to hack. So I don't know how they're going to fix it. So one of the things that I think, back to Web3 and the crypto bros and all that sort of stuff, one of the things that feels like it becomes very, very apparent in the next 2 years is that blockchain or some sort of tokenization technology is going to become really, really important. We need to be able to verify that someone is who they say they are, that the video that you're watching is them in an unaltered way from the original source, that the thing that you're reading is actually from the New York Times, that the website that you're looking at is actually the New York Times, that you could tokenize, was this large language model jailbroken, was something generated with a jailbroken version of one of these things. So I think that because these things are kind of open and raw right now, and because Meta released Llama 2 to open source, I think we're going to have kind of a 2-year free-for-all. And at some point, someone's going to get hurt or something bad's going to happen. And then everyone's going to lose their ever-loving fucking minds and go, we got to do something about this AI. It's so dangerous. Why didn't we see this coming? Well, we did. And we're talking about it. And then Meta's like, fuck it, here, have fun. Elon Musk. I don't like that Sam Altman's trying to keep OpenAI. It's called OpenAI for a reason. Fuck it, I'm going to start X. So we're going to have Llama 2, and then we're going to have Llama 3, 4, and 5, right? That Meta's just going to go, here's our research, have fun. And then we're going to have Elon Musk with his X thing going, hey, here's more open source, go have fun. So it isn't about getting... I mean, I already think that OpenAI, Google to a lesser extent, Anthropic is big on safety. I think their approach to safety is actually more solid than OpenAI's is right now. And Inflection, that does Pi, they're going to be good with this. I think the big players are going to be fine. I think they're aware of it and they're dealing with it. I think it's the open source stuff we got to pay attention to. So it's crazy. First time here. Blue Man 88. Blue Man Group. Blue Man Group is cool. What's this AI for? Which one? I don't know what I was using. That's Jay's. Just got out of prison. Is AOL still relevant or not? Actually, what's funny about AOL is having an AOL email address for the longest time was just the sign of you're a loser. If you still have an AOL email address, it has come full circle. You are mighty fucking hip right now. That's hilarious. This is a perfect description on how we use it. Okay, I don't know what I was saying, but awesome. Oh, did it just jump me to the bottom? It did. All right, so I gotta go soon. So I'm not gonna go find my place. So I probably just skipped a bunch of questions. So if I didn't get to your question, don't hate me. But I'm just gonna sort of jump to the bottom. All right, let's see. How secure is Perplexity Labs info entered? So Mez, assume with all of these things, until further notice, they're not. Just assume that they're not. If you want it to be really secure, run these large language models locally. So start playing around with the open source things, or spin up a virtual machine in a Google Colab machine, or a Microsoft Azure, or an AWS on their whatever their thing's called. It's not. I forget what it's called. It doesn't matter. there are secure instances you can set up. Like I know Azure has them. I know AWS has them. So if you really want it to be secure, you're going to have to set up your own environment. If you're doing something like sending data to these companies, assume that it's going to be, not that it's going to be used, assume that it could be accessed. It could be used for training. So depersonalize it, dedupe it, genericize it if it's something proprietary. I would just assume, until someone comes out and makes a claim, your shit's safe with us and we guarantee it. And here's the contract. Like right now, OpenAI put out, they've got a fucking website about how we don't train on any data going through our API. None of it's trained. But their actual agreements that you sign, the license, actually says, well, we may use it. Okay, which is it? Are you not using it or you may use it? Because the contract, like our lawyer right now is like, I don't give a shit what their website says. Here's what we signed like 3 days ago. So to put it in context, I don't think OpenAI or anyone expected ChatGPT to take off the way it did. There wouldn't be 7 competitors on this list if ChatGPT had just come out and no one paid attention to it. GPT-3 had been out for 1.5 years before that. The instructions for how to write ChatGPT were in the documentation and no one fucking built it. OpenAI built ChatGPT in 2 weeks in anticipation of the Microsoft announcement that they were investing in OpenAI. And they launched it and it hit 100 million users in 6 weeks. They weren't expecting that. Microsoft wasn't expecting that. Google certainly wasn't fucking expecting that. So all of this stuff is like... the output of this stuff is sophisticated enough that we all kind of assume they have their shit together. I think they're all scrambling to keep up with what just happened. Thank you very much for the... What is that? Is that like a CD boombox? CD player? That was cool. Long live Gen X CDs, huh? Remember when they came out with the really thin CDs? You're like, these are awesome, and then they would break because they were so thin. And yeah. So yeah. Assume this stuff is not secure. When will the internet access come back to ChatGPT Plus? I'm right there with you, Panda. Come on, Sam. Sam, listen. Listen, everyone at the AI Learning Lab is very upset about this lack of access to the internet with ChatGPT. We've been talking about it for weeks. We put a committee together, and we have decided it's been long enough. It's been long enough. Give us back the internet, or we will go somewhere. Well, no, we won't, because GPT-4 is better. But that's not the point, Sam. It is not the point. We've talked about this before. You know what I mean? All right. Can you make your dog talk? Champy. I can make him sing. If I play the guitar, he will sing. He's a singing dog. In fact, wait, what's my... Hang on. ADD moment. Instagram. Yeah, if you go to Instagram and go to Champ Sings, you can see my doggy singing. Here, I'll play one. It's ADD moment. Wait, why is there no audio? She came on him like slow. Yeah. Yo. Yeah. Who's a good singing dog? Who's a good singing dog? Yeah, music. He loves to sing. I mean, we'll be watching TV and like just some light guitar music will come on in the background. You don't even notice it, and then his head will pop up and he'll just go, oh, oh, oh. I don't think it looks like claymation-y because it understood. Oh, play mission. Yeah, I know. I would pay also. Wait for his magnetic. What? I don't know what that means. Soprano. Zero, I mean. When will internet come back to ChatGPT? We already talked about that. Kyle, have you figured out a good way to keep track of your chats? No. Here's so. This is one of the many downsides to ADHD is that I'm good at designing ways to organize chat histories, but not good at actually doing the work. And I've got like ADD hubris where I'm like I'm working on a prompt. I'm like, oh, I'll remember this. And then like I go to do it again. I'm like, wait, what the fuck was that prompt? And then I can't find it. And no, I am in an absolute train wreck right now of prompt insanity. I've got some in my notes program. I've got some. They're everywhere. I scroll incessantly through my chat history at ChatGPT trying to find something like a needle in a haystack because it doesn't have a fucking search function. How can it not have a search function? Sam, listen. Couple of things. Okay, connection to the internet. We've talked about it. I told you we talked to the people here at the lab. What they've said is it's not acceptable. Not acceptable. Also, why can I not search for my prompts? Why? I've typed them in. They're in a database. You retrieve them from a server, all in a list. You sort them chronologically, reverse chronologically, of course. Could I not search for them, maybe? Sam? It's almost been a year. And then the other thing is, you can, if you're worried about your safety, your data security, you can turn off prompt history and training in ChatGPT, but you lose all your prompts. Like you lose all the prompts that you've written. So at some point, I don't know. There's a way you can download your data. So at some point, I think what I'll do is I'll download. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this technology to get better, because it sucks right now, and I'm just gonna accept the fact that it's just gonna be an ad hoc ADD nightmare hellscape of super cool projects and innovative ideas for the next year. And then once this technology gets good enough that it's actually stable in some form or another, then I'll bring in the professionals and actually build a system around it. But holy shit. No, I wish I had a better answer for you. How do you use AI to make full-time income? This is you can make money with ChatGPT. So here's my philosophy on this. Just start getting AI literate is the first step. Making money with ChatGPT is no different than making money with Photoshop. or making money with bartending skills, right? How do I make money with booze? Well, I don't know, you don't. But if you set up a place where people can come sit and drink drinks and you make tasty drinks for them, now you have a business. It's the same shit. These are tools. So what I would say, I would sort of put it back on you and say, what are you good at? What are you passionate about? What are your skills today? You understand certain communities. You understand certain communities that may have pain points that you may have an idea for how to make better, but maybe you don't quite know how to do it. Well, that will be a hint to how you might use these tools to solve those people's problem using these tools in a way that you couldn't have done it otherwise. And that's how you'll make money with ChatGPT or AI. Or it might look like you get curious about these tools and you start to figure it out, and then everyone you tell about it's like, I don't know anything about that. Can you teach me about that? Yeah, I can teach you about that. Should I put together a class? Yeah, put together a class. Okay, I'm going to charge $100. Okay, great. Oh, okay. Then maybe the next one you charge $200. Then maybe the next one, then maybe you start teaching companies and you can charge them $2,000. These are just tools. They're just tools. Now, they happen to be profoundly powerful tools that may allow you to make money in areas where you haven't historically had the expertise or the knowledge. So what these things can do is like unlock your abilities. Like maybe you know a certain way of, I don't know, managing pizza shops. It doesn't fucking matter. Like whatever's the thing you know, maybe you understand the numbers side of managing pizza shops, but you never quite understood the marketing side. But you've always been interested in it, but you never really got around to going to marketing school or hanging out with ad people. Well, now you can go learn about pizza shop marketing and come up with a strategic marketing plan for every pizza shop in your city. And you can do the numbers because you could do them before, and you can figure out how to use these tools to do the number thing better too. And now all of a sudden you've got a comprehensive service because that's the shit you know. And then these are the tools that amplify you. These are ability amplifiers. What are your abilities? And what are your desires? What have you always wanted to be able to do? These may help. These will likely help. So it ain't about the tool. It ain't about the tool. It's about the intention. It's about the human being saying, I could have been a player. They call me the motherfucker. I could have been a player. Now I can be. Now I can be. Make sense? Yes? No? Oh, Kyle, you're so full of shit. That's a poo-poo answer. Try the Dan Do Anything Now and you'll be amazed. Yeah, I haven't played with Dan. Like, what's Dan up to? He must be up to 17 or 18. The last Dan I saw was Dan 7. What Cipriano's talking about there, Dan is this prompt that you can use to jailbreak ChatGPT to not follow its own safety guidelines. I can on iPhone search, that is, ChatGPT. No, I don't think so. I think they took Browse with Bing is in the ChatGPT app. I don't think so. You might have a non-official ChatGPT app. There's a bunch of non-official ChatGPT apps that might be connected to the internet, but the official one's not. You can search within the OpenAI app for GPT history, keyword searches from previous conversations. Oh, Cuppy206. Cuppy with two things tonight. Holy crap, Cuppy. You're our MVP of the night. Okay, so the ChatGPT iPhone app, you can search your history. Why would they not have that on the website? Why would they not have that on the website if they built it into the fucking app? Because it's a different development team. I don't care. Sam, listen, we really need to talk, okay? Cuppy just told me you can search your chats on the app. Okay? So, what's the story? And don't tell me it's a different development team. I don't care. We're going to... If anybody knows Sam, we got to have a conversation with Sam. All right, what do I think about Jasper? Jasper's interesting. So Jasper and Copy AI and a lot of things like that, they're built on top of the foundational models. So they're basically... Jasper and Copy.ai are kind of fancy versions of ChatGPT, and they've been around, they predated ChatGPT by, I think, a year. So they're interesting. I'm personally right now more interested in learning how these things work and how to do it myself, just so I can learn how to do it and build my own tool. But if you don't feel like geeking out with the prompting, I think things like Jasper and Copy AI are interesting. They're good. I find them a little complicated because there's so many things you can do with these that what those pieces of software end up being is just like an insanely large number of features that are all just slight variations of prompts, right? And so I then spend more time learning the interface of this bloated software that I'm going to use 3% of, and I have to sift through the 97% of the crap that other people are going to use, right? But the company has to build all that shit because, now that I made a blog writer, now I need to make a short blog writer. And now that I've made a short blog writer, I've got to do a short blog writer with hashtags. And then I've got to do a short blog writer that's not really a blog, but it's a post to Instagram. And it's just like, fuck it. I'm going to go learn Zapier and just make the tools that I need. So that's where I am right now. All right, let me answer a few more questions. We'll get the hell out of here. Hey, Kyle, I just finished packing. See you at 4:10 a.m. That's Monique. That's my co-founder. I got to get my ass to bed. I don't know when she put that in there. If you're still watching, Monique, I know. So the clothes are picked out. I got all the shit laid out that I need. I got the board deck ready. I got my to-do list ready. I got chargers everywhere. That's so funny. Your regulation rant, hilarious. Are we having superconducting AI? I really want the superconducting thing to be real, but it's looking like it's not being real. There's also that new cancer pill that I want to be real, but I don't know if that's going to be real. I really want LK99 to not be bullshit. It'd be interesting. Well, we'll see. The fat lady ain't sung, but I think she is having a burger. I think she's in the wings with a burger and a milkshake. She's getting ready to. Well, if she's a singer, she wouldn't be having a milkshake. She'd be having a Diet Coke, really large Diet Coke. I can't wait for the day that AI refers to me as a number. Exactly. This is so off topic. Do radio shows or audiobooks? Oh, do radio shows or audiobooks? Your voice is great. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have a degree in acting, so but I appreciate that. Sometimes I listen to my voice and I'm like, is there a there? But, sometimes in a land far, far away, I can go there, but then I sound like a faker, like I sound like a parody of a radio guy. And it's funny, like there's a guy that used to work for me at Storyvine, a guy named Wolfgang, and he has a radio voice. He's just got a radio voice, and it's like he doesn't have to fake it. He doesn't have to go there. So, but thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Can AI recreate LK99? Well, LK99 has to actually be built. What AI could potentially do, I was thinking about this yesterday. What AI could potentially do is take all the papers, all the research of all the research labs around the world that are trying to replicate LK99, take all of their data, synthesize them, analyze them, and see where the anomalies are and see where the through lines are. So AI could potentially validate multiple research findings very, very quickly, which could be interesting. But in the end, they got to build the shit, right? They got to come up with if it's real, they got to find a way to manufacture it and do that in a replicable way, and then ultimately do that in a scalable way. And if they can do that, then we're all off to the fucking races. Then we get flying cars. We get all sorts of shit. Does the air prompt generated text prompt... Wait, what? Roro. Does the AI prompt generate a text prompt or only images? Does the AI prompt... I don't quite know what that means. Within Midjourney, you can upload an image and you can have it describe that image. So you can have Midjourney will write you a prompt based on an image, and you can do it obviously the other way around where it's text to image. It's classified. All right, I gotta go. Monique's on here. She's gonna kick my ass. Monique, he's legit funny. I love it here. Wait, in IT, many current tools provide hundreds of alerts which are ignored. AI would help. It would. Hey, are you set up to do this from your hotel room? Well, you know what's funny, Tobias? And Monique, you'll find this funny. So the bag that I normally take on trips is not long enough to take my little stand that I have my phone on, and I was thinking about that. So I am going to take a different bag than I normally would, so I can put my stand in there, so I can continue my lives, because the people need more of this. Oh, good lordy, 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 lordy. Do you ever use autonomous AI? Not right now. Well, that's not true. Go play with Code Interpreter. If you haven't played with Code Interpreter, that's autonomous AI. It's a really contained, small version of it. So it spins up a virtual machine, and you give it a goal, and you upload a file, and then it writes Python code and executes Python code and gives itself goals. It prompts itself. It makes mistakes. It goes, oops, I used the wrong library. Let me try another one. And then so if you want to see it in action without having to really dick around, go play with Code Interpreter at ChatGPT. All the things like Baby AGI and Auto GPT, and there's a new one that just came out that looks really promising. They're all still a little weird, and they get into these kind of recursive loops where they just can't. They just sort of. What they do is they run your OpenAI bill up to really expensive things without solving anything. So they're all kind of crappy right there. But I think autonomous agents are ultimately where all of this goes. We're going to look back at the fact that we're right now having to think about how do we craft a prompt to get this thing to do our thing. Like, that's going to be cute 3 years from now. We're going to remember when we used to write prompts by hand? That was stupid, wasn't it? Now they just do it. All right, Here Come the Stars Don't Move. Can you recommend AI tools that generates a video based on a script? Not really based on a script, but you could break down your script and generate images. So Runway ML is the tool. RunwayML.com, I think. Hang on, let me just make sure it's .com. Yeah, runwayml.com. Go to runwayml.com, sign up for that. Gen 2 is text to video. You can also generate an image in Midjourney and use the image as your first frame of a video sequence. And then you can generate a 4-second clip, and then you can extend that 4-second clip 4 times. So you can now make 16-second clips from an image or from a text prompt with Runway ML. So write your script, break it down into less than 16-second segments, and go to Runway ML and make it all. And it's not cheap, but it ain't ridiculously expensive because you're generating video from nothing. But go do that. I just spit out my drink. I don't know what I said, but great. Listen, there's nothing better than a good spit take. So now the New Yorker's coming out of Mr. Shannon. Oh, I think this is when I was yelling at someone. All right, I got to go to bed, people. Let's see. Used Runway this evening. Got some really scary images. Yep, when I asked for a 50-year-old woman. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these things are a bit rough right now. I might be addicted to your lives. Thanks. Thanks for packing to keep to them. All right. Listen, I'm going to go pack. Monique, if you're still there, go to bed. I got to go to bed, too. I will see you at, what did you say, 4:10? 4? When? I don't know. I'll see Monique sometime around 4 in the morning. All right. It's been a pleasure. Happy Saturday night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Y'all are swell. It really is cool. Someone from a very good stream tonight from Riyadh. Wow, cool. Thank you, Clark. Thanks for the tips. Been using Pi, Claude, and Chat for biostatistical tests in public health. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. You were here 2 or 3 nights ago asking about that. That's awesome. Great. Pi, Claude, and Chat. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a good night. USA loves TikTok. Bye, everybody.